Hey Jib, how's it going? Welcome. Hey, thanks Moo. What's going on, guys? I got the new Chest Vibes water bottle. Pretty excited about that. Turned out pretty good. What's up, Intellect? We're looking at the French. We're going to be studying the French. Specifically, something interesting to play against it as white, and it's not the move d4. We're not going to play d4. At least I'm not going to play d4. Hey Harry, good evening. How you doing? Just give it a few more minutes, let everybody show up, and then we'll get into my surprise weapon against the French. Actually, I've never played it before, but I'm gonna learn it tonight, and you guys can follow along. I've played c4 here before. It's good like in bullet, but I don't really feel like it gives white much of an advantage. So we're not going to be looking at c4, it's something different. Yeah, I'm fairly certain nobody will have ever seen the move that I'm going to look at tonight. Pretty sure no one has ever played this move. If you have, I will be very surprised. Somebody wants to take a guess. What move do you think I'm going to play next here for white? It's not d4, it's not c4. It's something else. Queen move, f4, b3, g3, e5. Well, somebody got it right. One person said the move in that list of moves. It's not bishop c4. Bishop c4, and then black can play just d5, and we kind of are losing a tempo. So it's not bishop c4. I'm just going to wait like another minute, and then I'll get started. Oh, you Googled it. Yeah, I did put the name in the title, didn't I? Forgot about that. Yeah, it's b3. This is the move. You know what? Let me do one thing. I'm going to adjust Stockfish here for a second so you can see the name. Went from 3K to 40K within an extremely short period of time. Yeah, we did. Actually, it was right after I hit 5K. Something happened with the YouTube algorithm, and it started pushing that top 35 opening principles video. Went crazy. Thanks, David. Appreciate that. Thanks, Jason. All right, we'll go ahead and get started, and everybody else can catch up or watch the stream later. So first of all, little story about my experience against the French. So normally I'll just play d4, and after d5, I've dabbled in several things: e5, knight c3, knight d2. One line that I actually enjoy playing is knight c3, and if bishop b4, this is the winnower. I do like to play queen d3. I think I have 1 or 2 videos on the channel on this, and then after takes. The point is you're losing a tempo, but then you're relocating your queen, and you can get some nice attacks on black's king if they castle. So I do like playing this line for white, but the problem is black doesn't have to play bishop b4. They can always just like take and just do this kind of stuff. Or, the other thing is that a lot of people kind of have figured out that after queen h4, the move is queen to d5. And the point is you're just going to go to e4, force a queen trade, and it basically neutralizes everything that white's trying to do over here on the king side. And this knight's pinned, by the way, so that's why the queen can go to those 2 squares no problem, right? Because this. So a lot of people play that, and then it's like, okay, now I don't really get a great advantage. So, you know, the other thing, whenever I play the advanced variation, I always feel like I'm always defending, and like knight c6, queen b6, there's always pressure on d4, there's like f6, pressure on e5. I've never learned the theory, and I just feel like I don't get into good positions. So my goal for today is to try to play something very weird so that I can basically take black out of their comfort zone, which is usually backwards with the French. Like most people, when they play the French, they know more about the opening than you do, because you can play the French against d4, you can play it against e4, you know. So usually they just know more theory than I do, especially at my level, like 2200 level. I just feel like I don't ever get an advantage in the opening. So I was like, all right, let's do some research. What can I, you know, play that's going to be weird, but not bad? I don't want to play something that's bad. I just want to play something that's offbeat, kind of not seen very often, to try to get an advantage. So I came up with the idea of playing b3. After some trial and error, I was just experimenting with random moves, checking it with Stockfish, looking at what's been played, and b3 is called the Horwitz Attack, which I've never heard of until I just started looking at this recently. And the point is you're going to do this weird fianchetto of the bishop over here, and I think it changes up the positions enough that I feel comfortable, you know, using this as like a surprise weapon. So that's kind of the goal for tonight. I want to go through some of these lines and see how we play this as white. And yeah, that's basically the plan. So questions about that before we just jump into the we'll see what Stockfish says. We'll see what some of the top moves are. By the way, has anyone ever played this before? Has anyone ever experimented with this before? Just curious. Heath, I became a master in college. I was like 2100, and then I went to college, and it was like first year of college, probably, so like 19 maybe. Oh, okay, somebody plays this. All right. Would you recommend people taking the minus 0.3 seriously? So no, minus 0.3 is such a small amount, and it's so early in the game that if you're able to surprise your opponent and take them out of their comfort zone, and all you have to do is play a position that's minus 0.3, I'm going to do that every single time, right? Like, I would much rather have minus 0.3 be in a position that I'm comfortable with, that my opponent is not, than to have like +1 and be in a position I have no idea what I'm doing, and my opponent has played like a million times. So I'm totally not worried about that minus 0.3 at all. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Hey, thanks, Heath. I think I just answered your question. So b3. All right, we want to put the bishop here. That makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and go to masters just because I want to see what the masters are playing. d5 makes a lot of sense because if you're going to play the French, this is pretty much what you play like every time against anything. So, all right, d5. And then bishop to b2. So there's not really much else played. The whole point of this is kind of like gambit this pawn, it looks like, which Stockfish actually agrees with that. So I'm totally fine with that. So bishop to b2. And most people take it. Knight f6 is also played. And it's interesting that Stockfish doesn't like either of those moves. So let's look at capture. We'll start with the most obvious, right? Like just taking the pawn. Okay, so what's knight to c3, I guess, is the main line. And that's what Stockfish agrees with. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. I'm just looking around if there's like any other moves that I would want to consider here. But I don't really see a whole lot. So knight c3 makes sense. We're just developing quickly. I always like openings where you develop quickly, so that's good. And then we're attacking here. And this is really weird because most king pawn openings, you start by developing like your king side pieces, right? Like you play knight f3, you bring this bishop somewhere, kind of doing the opposite. So I like that. It's different. It's going to lead to positions that are not mainstream for the French. So far so good. I'm happy with this. I'm just checking if there's any questions related to this. Okay, so knight c3, we're attacking the pawn. Most common move played is knight f6. It's also the best move. F5 has been tried a few times. Maybe we'll come back to that, but let's go forward with the main line. So knight f6. Okay. Queen e2. Also g4 has been played. That's interesting. So queen e2, makes sense. We're going to just attack the pawn. But g4 is like... Now, the win percentage is not awesome. I want to just see if... Does Stockfish hate this move? Okay, h6 is what a lot of people play. And black has good results with that, but that's not the Stockfish move. Stockfish move was a5. Like, nobody in their right mind is going to play the move a5 here. Like, has that even been played? No, that's never been played. Like, yeah, nobody's going to play that. So I'm not worried about that. Knight c6, yeah, that maybe knight c6 would get played. But h6 seems pretty, like, I mean, that's what I would want to play as black. h6 to, like, stop this pawn, right? Because that looks annoying. So let's see what happens after h6. What do we do here? Bishop g2 has been played. Queen e2. There's a fly. Okay, I didn't get it. Sorry. So, Queen e2, bishop g2 seems to be the only options. So, bishop g2, I mean, I kind of like that. So we got sort of this happening. We've got this aggressive pawn here, so like we can always play h4, g5 if black tries to castle. Seems interesting. What do most people play? Bishop d7. Okay. Queen e2. So we could have transposed to this position regardless if we started with the queen or the bishop. And then everybody plays bishop c6. Ah, okay. So Stockfish doesn't like that move. Interesting. So castle's long. Okay. So this kind of seems like it could be like the main line with this Horwitz variation. What is this? Untitled Gambit? Okay. So black had good success here in the statistic. Well, 25%. I guess it's not too great. Knight b to d7. is the main move. Okay. I'm checking Stockfish to see what's going on here. I mean, it looks kind of like normal chess, except kind of weird. Just random pawn here and like castling queenside with this bishop here. It's not really normal. I like this though. I like this because it's kind of like awkward for black. Like, where are you gonna castle at if you're black? Probably not gonna go this way. I guess here eventually, but I don't know. All right, so let's see. Knight takes e4. We got bishop and knight takes our options. Okay, what's actually been played in games? Knight takes e4. Bishop takes, lines up with Stockfish. Bishop takes, and then queen takes. So this position, I mean, this looks good for white. I like this, right? Like, we got this. So black can't easily develop the bishop without having to worry about that. Our queen is very centralized. We're going to develop. Maybe bring the rook over, or, I don't know, play d4, d5. This looks fine. I like this. Is there an issue with trying to trade off that pawn? Not sure which pawn you're talking about. Stockfish guy seems pretty good. Yeah, he seems decent. Yeah, so we've got the threat there. All right, so let's go back. Let's do a little recap of what we just looked at. Because I like that. Like, if that's the main line for this, like, I'm okay with that. So we played b3, d5. Definitely probably the most common move. And if they accept the gambit, we attack it, which pretty much they want to defend the pawn, right? So, okay. Any other moves that have been played here? f5. Let's check f5. What happens on f5? f3. And then what? Bishop d6 is the most common move. Can we just take... Oh, there's queen h4. Okay, but Stockfish likes taking. What's the deal here? This looks interesting. g3. Stockfish wants to give this up. Ooh. Sacrificing the exchange? How does this work? I'm going to let Stockfish analyze this one to 26. I want to see what's going on here. Now it's saying 0.0. That's interesting. A lot of times 0.0 means there's like a perpetual check in one of the lines further down the line. Have I played against a GM? Yes, absolutely. I've played against quite a few GMs. Come on, Stockfish, what's the deal? I'm seeing knight h3, now I'm seeing queen e2. I've seen knight b5. So those are the options we have. Knight b5 has been played in games. Knight h3 is interesting. It's almost like the queen is sort of trapped. Not really. I don't know what the deal is there. Knight b5 has an immediate threat. Actually, there's two threats. But then you leave this hanging. Alright, Stockfish seems to... Oh, knight b5 disappeared. Interesting. Alright, why did it disappear? So whenever a move like that disappears, I want to figure out why. It's because knight to f6? What? You're just giving this? Check. King moves. It says king d7 is the best move. Okay. King d8 was played in a game. We'll go king d7. I'm going to take this. Why is this good for black? Oh, because there's just a random knight hanging over here. Okay, so this is getting a little bit complex. I'm going to go back and remind myself how we even got here. So it's if they play f5 to defend the pawn that way. We play f3. We want to just take it. Bishop d6 threatens queen h4. Stockfish recommends letting them do that. Letting them take the rook. Okay. And then we just looked at knight b5. What about this knight h3 move? Because then you save your knight. You don't lose a knight. Queen's kind of trapped. This is still defended. And then there's also queen e2. But let's look at knight h3 for a little bit. Because that kind of seems like a move I might play. It's never been played in games. Let's see if it's been played in lower rated games. Twice. Average rating was 2200. Okay. Knight f6 was played. We got queen e2 and we have e takes f5 have been played. What does Stockfish say? Looks like queen e2. So now knight b5 is not so good because you don't have a double threat really. It's just one threat, which is probably easy to defend with knight a6. So queen e2, I guess, is the move. Okay. Now we want to castle and then maybe like trap the queen or something. So what happened in the game? F takes e4. Castle's long. Okay. I want to see if this queen gets trapped. Because it looks like bishop g2. Queen can go here. And then you can maybe slide over and rook h1 to trap the queen. Oh, but... oh, there's queen f3. What am I saying? Queen f3. Okay. Interesting. Still, this is pretty complicated. Like, unless someone has prepared and studied this, it might be tricky to kind of see all these lines. So I'm still feeling pretty good about this. What's the move? Queen h2? Wow. Alright. Anyway, that's kind of a rare idea. But I know enough now that, like, if I play this in a game, I kind of have an idea of what to do here. Like, if somebody plays f5, I know at least that I play f3. And then if they play bishop d6 and do this, I just let them do it. Play knight h3, queen e2, castle long. And it's equal position, so I'm okay with that. Now, what if they just take? They just take this pawn. Yeah, now we have a really nice position. This is a nice hole for the knight because there's no pawns. They can attack the knight, so that's really good. Now we actually can we could probably castle either way in this position. All right, let's see. Knight f6 has been played. Bishop to c4. Most common move, bishop d6. Queen e2, yeah, this is cool. You have options to go both ways. I like that. And then what's been played? Queen e7. I mean, this just looks so much better for white, right? Look at this. All pieces, black's not developed. Stockfish agrees with us. Yeah, this is cool. So, all right. I've seen enough. Taking doesn't really make sense, so bishop d6 is probably like the best move. Knight f6 has been played a few times here. Let's check knight f6. All right, let's see. F takes e4. F takes e4. Queen e2 has good results. Okay, I'm just kind of following like the main line right now, just to see what people are playing. Queen d4. That's not really good. You just castle, and now you have this discovered attack on the queen. Knight can probably move somewhere. Okay, so that looks pretty good. All right, let's go back to the beginning. So we've kind of covered. After they take, we play knight c3, and then we looked at the main line a little bit, and then we looked at f5. What about some crazy move? Let's see, what else is played here? I mean, queen d4. It's hardly ever been played. But I just want to see what happens, because it does kind of... I mean, it could be annoying. It could be annoying. Let's see. What's the move? What does Stockfish say? Just attack it. Then you play d4. Queen a5, let's say. Yeah, this can't be good for black, right? Just moving the queen all over the place. That can't be good. All right, I'm gonna just trust opening principles on that one. So queen d4. All right, so the other thing black could do is just let you take it, right? Just let you take it. Play something like knight d7. Takes. Bring the knight out. It's kind of like a normal French, except instead of having d4, you have this, which I would say is kind of an improvement. At least looks pretty good. So you can just trade. And what does Stockfish say? Bishop d3. Ooh, I saw that there for a second. Now it's saying knight f3. Oh, bishop d3. Normally, you don't want to play bishop d3 when your pawn's on d2, because you want to be able to play d4. But in this case, since we fianchettoed the bishop here, I guess it doesn't matter. You can just leave the pawn there and just like line up the bishops. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's going back and forth between knight f3 and bishop d3, but this is a more interesting move to me. So let's go bishop d3. What does black play? Bishop e7? Okay. Just knight f3. Queen e2 has been played. Stockfish likes queen f3 or knight f3? Which one? Looks like knight f3. Yeah, knight f3. Okay, so just develop. I mean, this looks good. Like, this bishop is not great. I guess there's this, but that's kind of slow. We're like ready to go here. We're ready to start attacking. Castles. Yeah, knight e5. This looks good, but there's no problem here. So, all right. I think we've looked at enough sidelines. Let me see if there's any questions. Queen e2 instead of knight h3. Yeah, let's go look at that line. So you're talking about f5, right? f3. Then it was bishop d6. We take, we let the queen come in. Play g3. We let this, we lose the rook. And now we said queen e2. Okay. So instead of knight h3, play queen e2. Okay. And what's the main move here? Let's see. Queen. Oh, the knight's hanging. So that's interesting. What's the point here behind queen e2 after a knight? Queen h5 check is like the only move. Interesting. What's happening here? What about g6? Now what do we do? Queen h4. So hold on. At this point, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're down an entire rook. We're down an entire rook. What do we have for compensation? I mean, we have 2 pieces developed, and we're getting ready to castle. We have the queen, which, okay, I don't know what it's doing. No games have been played, but queen c5 is the best move. And it's kind of a weird move to play. Like, I don't know if a human would play that, but let's go with it. E takes f5 is the best move, or knight a4. Ooh, knight a4. Well, what's happening here? Why would you play that? Okay, queen e7. Basically, you're just getting your rook back. Bishop d7. Okay, this actually is kind of interesting. Actually, didn't realize. So, basically, it's weird. It's like we play queen e2 sort of to bait black just to take the knight, and then we go with queen h5. It's like kind of weird. I'm trying to understand like what's the idea there. I guess this is the main threat because that's pinned, so you're just going to take this. Okay, so queen takes g1. Only move. And after g6 you just go back. Let me do something. Sometimes I like to do this when I'm studying. I'll flip the board around and I'll just pretend for a second like I'm playing black in this position. Like I'm playing black. What am I scared of if I'm black? I'm scared of this. Like I'm really scared of that. Because that knight's gonna move and this guy's gone. So that makes me want to play it makes me want to play h6 really, so I can move my rook. or bring this knight so I can play e5. Maybe that's what I want to play, honestly. Yeah, queen c5. Like, why would I ever play queen c5? Like, it's such a weird move. So what if I do play h6? Like, how do I get punished here? Ooh, that's a bad move. That's a bad move. E takes f5. So now I'm going to flip back since I really want to play this from white. So if they play h6, which, okay, not a good move, but if they play h6 to try to make space for the rook to get out of this, you just capture. Knight to c6. All right, let's go back one more time. What would I play here? I mean, I'm probably just taking this, honestly. I'm about to get destroyed here. And then just castles long. Yeah, and my king is in big trouble. How about that? Okay. So, let's go back to white's perspective. So h6 makes no sense. Queen c5, tough move to play. Really tough move to play. The other move I was considering was something like knight c6 to play e5. We'll see what Stockfish says about this. Yeah, knight to b5 is good for white. So we have... Yeah, this is actually a cool line. This is actually pretty cool for white. So who said this? Chess luck. Yeah, good suggestion. I like this queen e2 idea. Because that's pretty, I mean, I think most people are probably going to take that if you play queen e2. I guess they don't have to. Yeah, it was played in most games. Somebody else played knight to e7. Now Stockfish says knight h3. And I guess I don't know if you actually trapped the queen, but regardless, lots of development. Looks like pretty good compensation for the rook, or for the exchange. So I like this line. All right, cool. So against f5, f3, and on bishop d6, just take, let the queen come down there. Play g3, let him take. You lose the rook, then you play queen e2, and if you lose the knight, you follow up with queen h5 and just try to attack the king, castle, and play chess. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. All right. By the way, for anyone who didn't catch it earlier, got a new water bottle. Pretty slick, right? All right. So, knight f6. Let's go back to this. I know we already looked at it, but I want to go a little bit more in depth because this is really going to be the main line. g4. I like that. It's like another move that's going to make people think. And it's going to just kind of get this weird position. So I like that. We looked at h6. What else has been played? Yeah, that's 7,000 times out of 12,000 games. So over half, everybody plays h6, which makes sense. Next is bishop e7 and bishop to b4. Bishop to e7, so just ignoring it. Then you just play g5, chase the knight away, and then I guess you just take this, right? Yeah, this looks good. Can't complain about this. Oh, this bishop takes g5. Or we just take this? Yeah, we just take that. Rook to g8. Bishop goes back. Weird position, but again, I'm happy with this. So this is like perfect. I'm liking this opening. It's weird, it's different, but it's not bad. It's just kind of unique. So, okay. So g4. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is basically a really good start. I think at this point, what I would do is go practice and try to play some games and you know, see what people actually play. If they play something different than what we looked at here, then I would analyze that further. But I feel pretty good about this. The plan is mostly straightforward. Play bishop e2. After that, you play knight c3. Any questions? Questions, comments? Very strange Gambit. Very strange name. Yeah, it is. It is. G3 and just play it slow. Yeah, you could do that. You know, personally, I don't like to do that. I like to be more aggressive when I can. And so, for me, in my playing style, G4 just made a lot of sense. But yeah, you could. I mean, you could do G3 probably. Cool. So, what's up, Brian? Let's see if we can play some games, and maybe maybe someone will play the French, and we'll get to try this out. So, let me switch over here. Let's go for a 10-minute game and see what we can do. Oh, we're black. Too bad. Steve. I guess we just take it. Yeah, I think you just go back. Pretty sure that's... The issue is if you go over here, then if you castle kingside, your king is like kind of weak. I don't want to do that. Let's put the bishop here. Probably e6, c6, knight here. Just play nice and solid to start things off. Do I want to play knight c6? d4 is coming anyway. Maybe this could happen later. Get some... Or here, and then I'm going to play c5. Or here, castle, c5. Debating where this knight should go. The issue with knight c6 is I might really want to play c5 later, so let's just go here. We'll leave that out. We'll leave that option open. No, I don't really speak Spanish, Brian. I know, I'm a Lopez, right? But didn't really speak it growing up much, so I just know like tiny little bit. So what if we play c5 right away? What's gonna happen? Are we gonna get into trouble? Let's just play smart. We'll develop castle, and then we'll strike in the center. So c5 is a pretty normal move. It does allow d5, but then we just take it. It looks good. So we'll play c5. Opens up the queen. It does open up this diagonal, but I mean that's what's probably going to happen anyway. Let's bring the knight in. Now I really want to get this queen moved somewhere and then bring a rook over here. That's what I would like to do. Usually giving up a bishop for a knight for no reason is not what you want to do. So I'm going to go back. And white probably doesn't want to play g4 here with his king there. He could, because my king's here, so it's an aggressive way to play it, but I'm not expecting that. Okay, where do we put the queen? I want to get a rook here. I can go to c7 or b6. Could also play like a5 to like try to prevent this knight from getting chased away. Guess I don't really care that much, so I'll go to c7 for right now. Maybe this could be useful controlling this diagonal. Yanni, what's up? What's up, man? Alright, rook d8. I don't want to spend too much time, so let's just put the rook on the open file. My classical rating is 2202, I think, or 22, just over 2200, 2200 something, I think. Okay, there's a fork that wins the knight for bishop trade, and my rook ends up sitting there. That's not a bad idea. Actually, the other way I could approach it is take this. If the bishop takes, the knight can go there, which means the pawn would have to take, which is not awesome, but then I am giving up the bishop. Then I could play there, and the rook comes in. Question is, do I really want to trade that bishop to mess up the pawns? I think I do. I think that I really do. Because the king's there too, so it's like pawn structure. Oh wow. Well, that's just an exchange. So okay. I don't know what white's doing. That just looks like a blunder to me, but okay. Maybe he's sacrificing it intentionally. I don't know. Probably queen here, just to like create some threats, is what I would think. But even that, I have like bishop b4. That's nasty. Then I'm winning a full rook. So queen c3 is not even an option. Queen here, maybe. I'm still gonna take the rook. Have to be a little careful, but queen c2, okay. Let's go ahead and take that. So that's good. Now trading is good for me. I also would like to double up rooks on this file. Maybe just simple rook up and rook over makes sense. I can play here. I don't know if I actually want to go pawn hunting right now, though. Like maybe the rook comes here, I take this pawn. Maybe the rook comes over. It feels like it's not worth it. It just feels like then I'm gonna like put myself into an attack. So I'm just gonna play like this, try to get my rooks here. Because once I double these guys up, this is gonna be good. I'm already at material, and like taking that pawn doesn't, like, it's not life changing for me. And then if I let white get this rook over here with tempo, it's like, okay, now I have to actually be careful I don't get mated. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Queen g5, there's also knight takes b2. Oh, yeah, earlier. Good point. That's a good point. g3. Okay. Doesn't do a whole lot. Let's go ahead and bring the rook over. I don't want to waste a ton of time on that move. I want to save my time for what's coming next. I have to actually think some more. Okay. So now that I have my rooks kind of ready to go, now I'm more comfortable playing a move like Queen a5. Because I don't have a random rook stuck over here. So now I will play that to start creating some threats. Okay, so this looks like a good opportunity to potentially trade off that annoying bishop for my bishop, which is not awesome. That's got to be good for me, so we'll do that. I mean, I guess they could take this, but that could get a little tricky. Okay. All right, let's trade. That's what we wanted to do, so we'll take that off. Okay, so I can't really bring my rooks in. Everything's covered, which means I need to do something else. Maybe Queen f5. Because I want to keep going to the endgame. Then my rook's going to be able to really outperform the bishop most of the time. Okay, we can bring the knight in now. Looks pretty good. Then we can probably go here and force some more trades. So let's do that. Keeping an eye on the time. I don't want to get too low on time because there's still a decent amount of game left to play. Even though I'm up the exchange, like the game's not over yet, so. I'm thinking knight d2 next maybe, so we can force some more trades. So knight d2, takes. That's just losing a piece. I'm thinking this move, but there's bishop g4. There's queen e4 after, f3. That probably is okay for me. Do I have anything else? I can go here with the idea of going knight to d3. Let's see. It's not bad either. Okay, we'll try this, I guess. Actually, hold on. Let's see. f3. What do I play after f3? Because then my knight's going to be hanging. So maybe I will just do this instead. Now that I think about that, actually. I was thinking like bishop g4, queen here, but then f3 is kind of awkward because my queen's under attack, my knight's under attack. And I wasn't sure where I was going to go. I guess queen g6 was okay, but I don't know. Then my knight's kind of awkward there, so maybe this is better. There's this move, but I'm thinking maybe queen d4. It's kind of a weird position, like, even though I'm up the exchange, there's not a lot of ways to get through right now. Getting a little low on time. Once I get the knight there. Okay, I was expecting that. Let's go queen d4. So, complete control of the file. That's the good news. I gotta get this knight doing something here. Okay, I guess we'll try knight d3. I'm still trying to figure out a way to break through here. It's not that easy. Almost looks like there's some tactic here, but I don't see how. I don't want to run out of time, so what can I play? So at this point, I have a minute left. I'm going to have to kind of switch over to, not bullet mode just yet, but I need to start playing much faster. So as I proceed to think for like too long. Maybe I'll play f6 to take away this square. It does leave that hanging though. Okay, that's under attack. Let's go here. Got this. That looks pretty strong. I think. There's rook e3. Queen f5, I guess. So I'm still going to try to trade. I also have this queen trade. Oh, that's a queen. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. GG. I think I can win this even with 42 seconds. I hope. I hope. He's going to make me do it. Could have played f5. That was silly. That was silly of me. There's a little tactic here. I think I see mate 1. think that's moving one. He wants a rematch. All right, let's do it. Sicilian. So no French. No Horwitz. No Horwitz Attack. Whoa, that's an interesting move. Don't see that every day. B6. I guess I'm curious, what happens if I play knight b5 and try to go there? Is he just going to play d6? Knight d5? Maybe knight f5 is better. Then I can play knight b5 and get... That looks good. d6, knight b5, how does the pawn get defended? Okay, I don't see it. I'm gonna go for that. My goal is to put my knight here. Oh, yeah, this has got to be good for me because once my queen's on d6, it's gonna prevent him from castling. It's gonna be attacking a bunch of stuff. Why do I feel like we're playing like a bullet game? He's used like 10 seconds. We're on move 8. He's used 15 seconds. Okay. It's a trap, by the way. Don't fall for the trap. Just because he's playing like bullet, it's not a bullet game. I have 10 minutes. So I can just sit here, take my time, play good moves, and get into a winning position. So bishop g5. I mean, there's no castling happening here. Maybe queen e7 is coming next. What about knight b5, threatening this? Rook c8. Can I even move the queen and then go there with my knight? This... Okay, this could be hanging if I play knight b5. So maybe we do play bishop here. Yeah, then I can castle, get the rook here. That looks good. Ooh, that's a cool move. Let him take the bishop, go here, which wins the queen. Should we do that? Should we do that? That looks fun. What about takes here? No, I'll still just go there, I think. Yeah. That's a cool little trick. See, that's why you don't spend 30 seconds in a 10-minute game, because, you know, he would have, I'm sure they would have seen that. Nice tic-tacs. Okay, so they stopped that, but now we have this. So which way's better? Bishop? Knight? It's gotta be the way, because then it forces the queen, right? So yeah. I think, although this way forces this, which gives me this. If I take with the bishop, is there any way something like No. Then the queen's actually trapped. There's a knight here. I can just take it. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. It doesn't really matter. They're both like completely winning. I want to go for that. Or just castle. Let's do this. Now we can castle. Is there some tactic here? Takes, bring the rook over. Check. If the king goes there, this is mate. If the king goes there. No, I guess not. Alright, so maybe just like here and trade some more pieces off. Or I could take this and go get another queen. Anything else that jumps out? Let's see. Once we take this, then we can take this pawn. I guess that's probably pretty straightforward. I want to take this pawn. That's why I'm trading my bishop for the knight. Okay. I was just going to put my pawns on white squares. Let's see if we can get someone else. Oh, wow. Okay. You guys know what this means, right? Does everybody know what this means? Was everyone here last week? That's right. That's right. It's time. It's time for the Icelandic Gambit. Oh, yeah. Play d4. Then we play bishop b4. I learned that last time. I was thinking it was knight c6. Knight c6 is a bad move. I have to play bishop b4 first. Yeah, knight c3, okay. And then I think queen e7 is the main move. So the immediate threat is to take here with check. Oh, but now we just take it anyway because it's pinned, I believe. For some reason, I didn't think that was playable, right? Isn't this just good for me? I'm not worried about this. I don't really know what else. Yeah, I think that's a mistake. We'll check it. We'll check it after the game. I'm fairly certain this is fine for me. Just knight here. If d5, I'll just take it. and now I have options. I can castle either way. Okay, so now this is hanging, so now I have to do something about the bishop. We'll trade it. We'll trade it off. And then I want to just castle queenside. Pile up on this guy. Although it's a little scary. Let's see, d5 is not playable. I just take it. I think we're okay. If I want to go safe, I could castle this way. I don't like to be safe when I play chess, so we'll do this. It's risky because there's like a file here, and you know, the queen's already on this side of the board, but wow, he's not scared either. Okay. I mean, I can just do something simple. Bring the other rook over. What else do I have going on here? King b8 is a move to defend this pawn in some cases. I have to decide if I'm worried about this move or not. I don't think so. But maybe I should be. So maybe I should play knight here to just stop that from happening, because I don't want to let the bishop, I don't really want to let the bishop in here, so let's do that. Bishop's not really doing anything now, as long as I don't let it come over here. Actually, I could just take it. So this seems like a good move. And keeps the rook out. Like if d5 gets in, then the rook's involved, the bishop's involved. It's not good. So this, yeah, this seems right. Oh, the main move is 94. Queen e7 bad, or is it just an alternate plan? Okay. I mean, do I want to do this? That looks kind of interesting. Or do I play here first and then go there next? I guess knight c3 might be coming. Let's just bring this rook over. Let's just not overthink it. Queen takes bishop. Yeah, no. I don't think that's the play. I don't think that's the play. Queen e7's plus 1.4. So yeah, that probably is wrong then. Ah, rook to d3. Interesting. Okay. First thing I'm looking at is like, is there some tactic with this pawn? So for example, takes. Bishop can't take. Well, bishop could take, but if bishop takes, there's this move. Looks like it's gonna get a little crazy. Probably don't want to do that. I think rook a5 makes sense now. Solves my problems of this pawn. Puts the rook on an aggressive diagonal, file. Is it too crazy to go here and here? Is that too crazy? I don't think so. I mean, it's a little wild, but if knight goes there, I'm going to take it and then bring this guy over. It looks like it's good. We got to get some more pieces. Get some more pieces on the king so we can sacrifice and get checkmate. Yeah, okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm going to come over here. There's d5, but it doesn't do much anymore. I can just hop my knight over there. So let's continue with the plan. This is pretty weird stuff, but I like it. I really like it, actually. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the threat is. I think it's bishop a3 and then taking here. But I really could move this bishop anywhere. Even back here. Whoa, a4? So the point is now he just takes it with a pawn. So we'll probably have to drop back. Or do something crazy like take it and then bring the rook over. That might be a bit of a stretch. If I go back, what about d5 now? There's bishop c5. Ooh. It's a bit complicated now. I think it's okay. My gut is telling me that this is okay. Here. If takes, I just take it. I still have the threat on the queen. Then I can move my knight later. I didn't see that. Not gonna lie, I did not see that. Okay, so what are the options? We sack it. When you play the Icelandic Gambit inaccurately. Fair enough. Fair enough. Thanks for the $5. I mean, I want to take it and then play like maybe bishop here. Or I leave it, play queen here to try to get something happening here. Any other moves? No, it doesn't do anything. I think I like that pin. It looks like there could be a tactic with the knight coming here later. Let's try that. Let's try that. I'll take this way. It's only the exchange, which honestly I probably would have sacked anyway if I had to, so I'm not worried. I'm not worried yet. Yeah, I thought about that. I think here. Point is to move the bishop and bring the knight there. Attack the rook, which is pinned. It'd be nice if I could do something else with the bishop at the same time, but I don't really see a lot, so let's do that. That's the threat. He can just move his king, though. could still get some counterplay here. The other problem is I'm low on time. This rook is not as effective as I was hoping it was going to be completely honest with you. Maybe I gotta play like b5 or something just to get rid of this pawn. Okay, well, there's my exchange back. Actually, that's a rook back. He was trying to get out of the... Now it's just a free rook, and I guess I do want to simplify since I'm getting low on time, so I'll do that. Trade the queens, and we're up a piece. I'm fine trading since I'm up material. Trading pieces is good. I can't let the rook go there, but that's fine. We've got our king in time. Rook here. Maybe here, maybe g5. Okay, let's play I guess we'll target this pawn because I can just hop back here and it's isolated. It looks like it's going to be weak. I'm looking for tactics. I don't see any at the moment, so I'll just continue with the plan, piling up on this guy. Okay, maybe now we can play f5. Just trying to give myself like more targets. Like this. 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 This is why isolated pawns are easy targets. They can't really do anything except move forward. As long as we don't lose on time, should be good. Take this next. Take this. Gotta start pushing pawns at some point though, because rook and a knight's not enough. He's not gonna trade. Yeah, maybe there. Okay. I'll defend that. That's kind of an annoying pin, but I can move my rook and get out of it that way. Let's go ahead. I don't want to lose that pawn, so I'll just play g5. Now I think the easiest thing is to bring my king over here and just force him to give up the rook for the pawn. Nothing's going to happen there anytime soon. Let's just defend that since it's easy to do. And I can use my knight and pawn to kind of get out of the checks. Pretty straightforward. I guess I'll go here to defend the pawn and then can bring this over when I'm ready. think I'm actually gonna go here and try to block the rook, and then I get a full queen. Okay, he's gonna take it now, which is fine. This is like basic rook checkmate stuff. All right, let's check that opening, since I guess I misplayed it. This is the problem with learning opening lines. If you just forget them, it doesn't help you that much. That's what I do a lot of times. Yeah, 94 is a little better. Was it against bishop d2? Is that when queen e7 is good? Yeah. Alright, so bishop d2, queen e7, knight c3, knight e4. Knight e2, bishop takes c4. Okay. And then if we go back to what happened in the game, inaccuracy. I mean, I still feel like I got into an okay position. Why is it not good? Bishop e3. I guess you just don't get much of an advantage. Okay. But it turned out okay. Like, this was good for me. Yeah, knight c6. Let's see if we had any big blunders. Queen e4. So pinning this rook was pretty good. Okay. So Engine is not liking this idea. I thought it was cool in the game, but Engine doesn't really like it much. Yeah, I just didn't see that fork. I didn't see that at all. Okay, but then, yeah, he blundered an entire rook back right there. Okay. Cool. Hey, we're on a win streak tonight. You spend 3 hours learning one opening, and then you forget it the next day and play Blitz. Yes, that's correct. That is exactly right. That's exactly right. C4? Yeah? Maybe we'll get it again. Oh, D4? Okay. Bishop G4. I'm expecting F3. I'm gonna go back here. Yeah, Bishop E2 is what some people do. Okay. I think you just take it and take the pawn, and it's pretty even. Let's take with the queen. Thanks, Chirag. Robert, welcome. Thanks. What do you do to improve? Puzzles, courses on iChess. I don't focus a lot on improving these days. I'm kind of happy with where I'm at. But, can I play this move? Bishop f4. G5. We'll try it. What I used to do to improve was, I mean, there's always like tactics. You can't go wrong with tactics. Learning opening theory, you know, I always felt like I got benefit from that because I've never been like amazing at opening theory, and so by spending time learning it, I felt like it was beneficial. Yeah, weird move here. What if I just castle now and try to like put pressure on that? Well, there's knight g3. I can just go here though. It's okay. It's okay. What I would recommend is I just made the video on like blind spots. So like I would go and analyze your games and figure out why you're losing. And if you're losing because you're missing tactics, well then work on tactics. If you're losing because you just get destroyed every game in the opening because you don't know any theory at all, then learn theory. If you always get to an endgame and lose in the endgame, then work on your endgames. So that's what I would do. I don't know who benefited from this little dance we did. He went there, I went here, he went here, I went here. Guess it's the same as if he would have just went there. But then there's h3, which maybe is good for it. I don't know. Maybe not, because now I can do this. And yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm all about this. Let's go. Let's go. See, now that h3 is there, I can very quickly attack it. Try to get this file. He wants to play h4. So, how do we deal with that? Can I play e5? That's not an option. I just take it. That's not an option. That's an option. Don't know if it's a good option. This looks too slow. Let's play e5. Because I don't want to give him time to like throw all these pawns forward over here. I want to do something kind of proactive. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I don't have to do anything right now because this is pinned. And if I move it, then I'm losing this. So I would like to maybe think through that a little bit. It seems like the right move is to get the bishop into the game. Even if I lose this pawn later, it seems like I need to get this guy involved. Question is where? Here or here? Or here to try to attack h4. I'm expecting like maybe a queen move next to get out of the pin. Queen b1 or e1. So maybe bishop b4 makes sense. Let's try that. I don't know. I'm not actually sure, but I don't want to spend all my time on this position, so I'm just going to go with that. Yeah, if I would have just moved the knight, then I would have, you know, had to be careful about this. And then there's some stuff happening here. I mean, I can always like just defend it, but queen to d3, so he's not getting out of the pin. I mean, I'm looking at this move. Takes, rook over. Doesn't look like it works because there's like some checks here. So I could consider king b8. I still have the pin here. It seems like that's useful, getting out of the... There's also like knight d4. No, that can't be good. So maybe king b8. g4, there's h4. Let's go king b8. I don't want him to have these checks later. So that's why I'm doing that. And because I don't know what else to do. Like, all my pieces are kind of... I don't really want to move them. So... yeah, I gotta think through this some more. Okay, now it's a threat. And my bishop's hanging, so I might have to take this now. This is the threat. If I move the knight, the bishop's falling, so I think we have to take, unless there's some other kind of tactic here. Takes, rook takes. I'm losing the exchange. I'm getting a pawn. I don't think that's good enough. What if I take there? Is he going to take with the pawn? Maybe I have to go for this. Let's see. Then my bishop's hanging, so we got to move the bishop somewhere, like here. Takes. It's definitely playable, but do I like this idea better? No, I'm not losing just an exchange. What am I saying? I'm losing like a rook in the process too. Never mind. Right? Wait. No, it's an exchange. I'm right. And a pawn. I mean, and there's going to be like c3. It's kind of awkward. And then this is probably hanging. All right, let's do this. I don't know. Maybe that was better. Okay, I was expecting that. Interesting. Can I go there? Bishop takes. Do I have any moves to get out of that? g4. Takes. Can I go there? Ooh, does that work? I'm envisioning some crazy stuff here. All right, hold on. Let's do it. Oh, wait a second. Then there's also this. That's not a big deal. All right, let's go for it. I'm trying to make some crazy checkmate happen here. So the bishop's going to take here for sure. And then I'm thinking something along the lines of knight f3, followed by g4, and then getting a rook here. I could even play g4 first. Probably going to take this knight. Then we can go here. If takes, I have takes with the threat of this. I have a minute and a half. I don't know if I'm going to find it in time. Let's see. Well, I'm pretty sure this is my only chance to make something happen here on the king. So, because otherwise I'm just losing material. So we got to do it. I'm not seeing it right now, but I feel like there's a tactic. Knight f3. And if the king just moves, then I'm going to take here. Which looks like it could be good, although then maybe just takes the knight then. I mean, there's also just something like rook g8 right away. This is what I'm expecting. There's also check here. That's not a big deal. I just move over. Okay, that's fine. Now the question is knight f3 or takes? I don't see it, guys. I don't see it. Well, I'm just going to play that, and maybe I find something later. I don't know. I thought there was maybe some trick here, but it doesn't look like it. "35 seconds. I have to watch out for this too. That's mate. If he takes this rook eventually, then this is a mate threat. So whatever I do has to be checks after this rook is gone. We'll try it this way. The idea is to go here and then, I mean, actually the idea is to go there first, but I also have this move. I don't think it's enough. I mean, if this, then there's this, okay, but king h2. I don't think I have anything. Now he just plays queen g4. I don't have anything here, guys. Maybe this was better, actually, or one of these rooks. What? What just happened? That had to have been a mouse slip, right? He wanted to play rook g1? What is going on? I actually feel bad winning that game because I didn't really play well. I didn't deserve that win. Okay. Can we just take a moment to appreciate what just happened? He just had to last for 5 more seconds. Like, I'm pretty sure like almost any other move. Oh, wow. All right, let's check the analysis. Did we have any signs of life there, or was I just completely losing? Okay, this was all normal stuff. Ooh, that was not good. Okay. Oh, G4 right here was the move? And then what happens on H4? Knight to B4? Okay. And what if, like, just a random move, like Queen D2? What do we do? Bishop H6. Huh. Okay, I didn't see that. So Bishop B4. I want to get to the interesting part. Right here. Did we have any hope at all? No, that was definitely not good. Best move was G takes H3. And then I was thinking, oh, Bishop takes D8 is the best move. And just for the sake of analysis, what if this rook? Okay. So how do we win the game now? What do you guys think? Now we're winning. If this rook would have been taken, we're winning. How do we win? Rook G8 is not the move. Somebody said Knight F3 check. No. Knight F3 check looks like it leads to a perpetual check. H takes G2. Yeah, that's the move. So it's immediate threat is checkmate with the queen. Mate in 1. White has no good checks, so they have to deal with this threat. If they take it, it's mate in 2. Now the rook comes over. Yeah, let's just checkmate, basically. You just have to take the bishop. So, because of that, taking is not an option. If the rook moves, checkmate. So the move is F4. Now we just take here and get a queen. Queen has to come back to help out. And now rook to G8, and we're just all over white here. So, interesting. But, if the bishop takes this rook, things are very different. Because remember that mate that I said earlier? Now if we take here, well then we're just getting mated. Like this. So, now we have to actually deal with threat. So what's the best move here? Oh, we have to take the bishop. Yeah, we can't leave it. We have to take it. Okay, then white can take the knight. And now we can do this, but it's not as good. It's still good. It's still good. But it's not quite good enough. F3 takes, and then rook takes. So after all that, we're still down a piece. But at least this is like playable. There's chances for us here, it looks like. Chances for white to make a mistake. So all that to say, my best chance to mix things up here, instead of knight F3, would have been just capturing first. For some reason, I don't know why. I just thought I had to get that knight move in right away. But let's just see one thing. What if white would have just taken this knight? What happens now? We take here. Okay. Oh, now queen h4. Oh yeah, that's an interesting. All right, so you stop the queen from coming in, and you still have this fork at the end. Well, no, I can take it. Wait a second. How is this better for? Oh yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. I take this. White takes this way. I take the queen, and white has the knight and the bishop for the rook. Yeah. Okay, so that's better for white. Although, this is playable. I mean, all right, we got it. We got it. So knight f3 is bad. King h2 was correct. That was bad. Yeah, I'm like just getting destroyed here. That's a swindle. What's up, Eli? Yes. Thanks, Ariel. All right, let me see what time it is. We can probably play 1 or 2 more games. We're on a streak here. Can't lose. Even when I'm completely lost and have 5 seconds on the clock. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Is this the first game that I was white? No, I had the other game. I was white. That's right. Okay. I like to play this f3 system. Basically, the bishop goes on e3, queen goes on d2. Usually, you can play like g4, h4, h5, and attack over here if black castles. Knight c6. Yeah, that's a move. I'm going to play e5 next. I'm going to play queen d2. Or should I play here and just trade that off? Maybe I could do that, actually. Because a lot of times this bishop is not so useful. And it's kind of like just sits back here. So maybe this is a smart way to play it. Yeah, I'll try this. I don't know that I've done this before, but I think it's worth a try. So, do I take it right now or do I wait a second? I'll take it right now. I'll play 92, and now I have to make a decision. There's 2 ways to approach this. Number 1, push the pawns forward and try to do something here. Number 2, we just castle and focus on other stuff. I'm going to play queen d2, keep my options open, so I can still castle this way, and I can still do this if I want. I want to see what black's going to do. Yeah, it looks like I might not have time. This is kind of a little bit slower of a plan, and since they're striking back in the center, I think I may just take this and then go to an endgame plan of target the weak pawns. Because once I capture this, we're going to have some nice targets. So we'll just change up the strategy a bit here. So queen trade is probably good, but giving up the file is usually not good. If I castle queenside, the queen might move over like here or something, but that should be fine. Because I can always bring this bishop in, which looks really strong. I do want to trade queens because these weaknesses become better, but no, I'll just castle. I don't want to just give up the file that easily. So this way, I'm fighting for control of it. Hey, Jarby Jarb. Hey, thanks, Ariel, for the 99 cents. What are your thoughts on Queen's Gambit declined for white? I don't really play d4, so I don't have a lot of experience. I think if you don't know what the minority attack is, that's what I do know. Minority attack is a good thing to know as white if you're going to play Queen's Gambit, especially in the Queen's Gambit declined. It comes up a lot. This is a weird move. I'm not going to lie, because I think I can play g4 and make him go right back there. So I'm going to do that. Okay, for some reason I thought that that was a free pawn. I mean, am I missing something? I can even trade a bunch of stuff if I want and then take the pawn. There is this move, but I'll just take it. I guess I can't trade, I have to take this first, but okay, so still, it's like a free pawn, right? I mean, yeah, it opens the diagonal, but I'm not that scared about that, so okay, I'll take that. Now I can trade some stuff if I want. The issue would be takes, takes, takes. Then I'm gonna get some bad pawns myself, which I don't want. I don't want bad pawns like that. So maybe I'll just take, leave my queen to defend the knight. Yeah. I want to keep my pawns looking nice and pretty. Is there a free chess database like ChessBase? I guess Lichess is the closest thing that you have for free that I know of. They have tons of games. Okay, so his plan's not terrible. He sacrifices a pawn, but now at least he gets like an open position. So that's not such a bad idea. I do have to be a little careful. I might play bishop g5, because if he plays f6, I'm really happy. Then this bishop is like not doing anything. Where else can the queen go? Here, here, here. There's queen here. Takes, takes, if takes, takes, at least my, then I'm winning this pawn. But then there's bishop here, and then these guys. Okay, hold on. What if I play e5? Can I play e5? The idea is if this... What about bishop h6 to try to trade off the bishop? Maybe that's smart. Maybe that's really smart. Let's do that. This bishop goes away. Makes my life a lot easier here. He might play like bishop h8, honestly, and sack the exchange to keep the bishop. This would be one time I'm okay with that. If I'm black, I might do that. I don't know if this guy will. That's a pretty next level thing to do, but maybe. I'll probably take it and then just try to hold on. Try to force some trades or something. Okay. I think queen e3, just getting out of this. But then there is bishop h8 or bishop d4. can go queen f4 instead, but I want to kind of keep that on there. All these moves that I'm not thinking about. Let's go queen e3, I guess. He might just play bishop h8. Then we have bishop g5. If we can force f6, that's going to buy us some time because it blocks the bishop off, so that's good. So this is kind of my idea. But there's also bishop d4. Then I have to really think. No, bishop d4 is not a move. What am I saying? Never mind. Sorry, guys. It's getting late. It's getting late. When you start missing moves like that, that's when you know it's like probably almost time to call it a night. Yeah, he's playing this well. He's playing this well. He's setting up some serious threats, so I have to be careful. Honestly, I think I just take this though. Once that bishop's gone, it's much easier. It's much easier to defend. Now I think I want to trade as much as I can, and then these guys really become my targets. So I'm thinking takes and then bring the rook over. Just try to trade everything. Any other moves that make sense? I mean, this is hanging, but that's too risky. That's way too risky. I think. Let's trade. Let's just trade. That's the best thing. Because this is terrible. This is terrible. Okay, now we'll come here. We'll trade some more, hopefully. Good. Let's see, is there any tactic here if I take with the king? There's this, but I have queen d2. Defends everything. Okay, I guess he was okay playing an endgame, but this is good for me. Activating the king, and I'm going to try to target these pawns. So let's kind of maneuver the knight forward a little bit. I guess he wants to go here, but I feel like that's putting his king too far out of the picture. There's like so many pawns that I can go for then. Yeah, I don't think that's the right approach, but we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. I'd like to play g5. If he moves here, I want to play g5. If he goes here, I'm going to bring my king in. Okay. I didn't think about that. I guess that's smart. Because now I can't go there. That was a good move on his part. Yeah. I want to create like a space for my knight to come back this way, so that's what I'm trying to do here. guess I gotta trade this. Otherwise I'm just losing it. My knight's kind of doing nothing. Like, let's see. What if I go here and let him trade? I think that's winning. I think that's a winning endgame. Because if he goes here, I go here. Sorry, here. And then I'm going to get the pawn, and I'm still going to have a pawn left. So I don't think he can take it. Which means I can probably get one of those pawns. Or try to do something like this and take this pawn. 53 seconds. So here, take this with the knight is the idea. If he pushes it, I'm going to trade it off. Then I don't have to worry about anything on this side of the board. Okay. Now I'll go here, I guess. I want to take that pawn. That's my goal. He can go back, but I can just go up. Okay. Let's take it now. Yeah, this is great. Now my king can come over here and eat these up. These are my decoys. Push these for the win. That's my long-term plan. Short-term plan, maybe look for some forks or something. I don't know. Let's try to save my pawns here if I can. Okay, that one I'm not going to be able to save, but that's okay. Let's bring. I have a fork here. If he takes that, fork takes. No, it doesn't work because that pawn was going to get a queen, so couldn't do that. Now I can do it. Okay, I gotta start pushing this one while his king goes and gets that one. I push this one. And then we just force the bishop to trade. Or we go take these. That should be good. If he goes there, we have a fork. So let's push it. I gotta play faster. Alright, we gotta go into bullet mode, I guess. So I'm gonna run out of time. That's a safe pre-move. Hey, all that bullet paid off for something. we're undefeated tonight. I don't think that's ever happened on a stream before. I don't think that's ever happened. Nope. What's up, Cathal? Super 84. You gained 400 ELO in 3 weeks. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, that was a good game, wasn't it? No, I gotta stop, guys. I'm tired. But I guess that end game was kind of instructive. So we can go back and look at that real quick. Hey, thanks, Ariel. Appreciate that. Sick win. Yes, it was. So, like, right at this moment in the game, right here, I feel like a lot of people are confused about what exactly they should be doing. And so, real quick, I'll just tell you guys a couple tips. Number one, king placement is everything. So like that is super top priority. You don't want your king to get stuck somewhere that it's not doing something, because at this point in the game, the kings and maybe the knight and the bishop are the most valuable pieces, right? There's not much left. It's just pawns. So if your king ends up in the wrong spot, you're going to be in trouble. So that's kind of what this guy did. He was thinking like, oh, I'm going to go over here and take a pawn, which, yes, he could have. But then you have to ask yourself, okay, where's my king going to be at the end of that mission? Well, it's going to be over here on h2. Where's white's king going to be? Probably on f6, taking like 3 pawns. Or maybe I'm even going to come over here and start taking these pawns. So is it worth like going for 1 pawn? So notice how I like kept my king until like I was sure I could get to a better position than his king. Like, look at this. His king's boxed off. So that's kind of what I was thinking. Now, this was a good move because it stopped me from going in like I wanted to. But still, it doesn't solve the problem. This king is like, what's it doing over here? So I think that was the big mistake for him, because you notice he was never really able to get it back over. I mean, this is like a lot of moves, right? To waste just to get 1 pawn when I'm gonna like probably get more. So that's one thing. And then obviously, you know, having bad pawns, you can see why it's bad. You can't do anything. He never had an option to push these pawns forward or do anything useful over here because of the pawn structure. So that's another thing. So all I had to kind of focus on was like right here. And then trading these pawns was also not good, I think, because bishops are good, like they can cover both sides of the board right at the same time. But if there's no pawns over here, bishop doesn't have anything to do. So I think you know, letting me trade off everything wasn't good either for him. And those are super subtle things, but at the end of the game like this, you know, that's all that matters. And then here, like, I don't know what was happening here. I think maybe bishop c8, and then if I played this, he could have went like this. I was going to take it anyway, and then take this. Let's see what would have happened. Yeah, I mean, I'm still probably going to win this, but at least now he can like make it try to come over here and do something. I mean, I'm still winning. So yeah, I'm pretty sure, like I said, if your king gets misplaced in an endgame like this, you're done for. So think very carefully about where you want to send your king to. Like if he would have said, you know what, I'm going to play g5 here, and I'm going to sit my king right in smack dab in the center where I can go this way, I can go this way, I think I would have had a much harder time. Now I probably would have played f4 to not allow that to happen. But even here, kind of just maybe playing h6, like leaving his king here, I think gives him more options. I don't know, like let's see how this would have turned out. Knight here. I guess it's still tough for black. It's still pretty tough. Takes. Now this bishop has to move somewhere. I don't know where. Let's say here. But the point is, like, trying to keep the king in a better place than, like, off on the side of the board. So he's got options to come over here, defend these, to stay here, you know. That's basically what I was trying to say. So I hope that helps someone. Yeah, no problem. Glad that you guys are learning. Jack, you're 1900. Time? No, I gotta stop. Sorry, man. We'll have to do it next time. Maybe one of these times I'll do a stream where I can play some people, because I know people have been wanting to play me. So we'll try to do that pretty soon. But I can't believe you're still alive. Alright guys, have a good night. We got a lot of new videos coming out eventually. I'm working on them, but I've got some exciting stuff that I think you guys are going to like when it finally gets released. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, great stream. Yeah, I actually gained some points for once. It's amazing. Take it easy, guys. I stream every Wednesday, Risk, so next Wednesday. Sorry, Morgan. You can watch the replay if you want. It'll be live, or it'll be on the channel. Later, guys.